I have a lot of problems with this game. And it's still a 9 out of 10. Arguably my favorite game in the entire two-player space. Here's how both of those are true. But first, some problems with the whole franchise. Why are all of them so expensive? Why doesn't the so-called complete edition come with the deluxe trays when it's already $350? And why is there a new standalone every single year? And yet, those cute little critters, those raving reviews, I had to try it. So I jumped in where it made the most sense. Everdell Duo. Less than half the price of the other standalones and built specifically for 2 players, which is how I play the most. The perfect place to get my feet wet. Welcome to the rulebook. Here's my review of Everdell Duo. Real quick, in case you've only ever heard the name, you're an adorable forest critter building a little city across 4 seasons. Send the workers out to gather wood, resin, pebbles, and berries, then spend them playing cards that combo off each other to score before winter. It's fully standalone and it packs in quite a few modes too. Competitive, a co-op campaign, and solo. I'll get to all of them. The first thing I wanted to learn as a newcomer though was, how hard is this to learn? Let's start there. Here's my honest first-timer experience. The rulebook is great actually, once I reread it after a couple of plays. But starting out, I had a bit of PTSD. Look at everything it throws at you. Around 80 cards that all do something different. 5 card types. Every card is either a critter or a building. You got seasons, you got events, the sun and the moon tokens sliding down the road. For a short 2-player game, what? That was a lot more than I expected. And honestly, pretty overwhelming. And it's not just the volume, it's the gachas. Every other rule seems to have an exception. Some cards had this little star you're supposed to note. There's a whole playable area concept. You can only play a card if it's next to the sun or the moon token, or on your hand. My wife and I kept stopping mid-turn, looking at each other like, wait, can we do that? I had to read some of the sections twice just to be sure. There's also edge cases the rulebook doesn't fully cover. I ended up downloading the official Everdell card index and keeping a printed copy in the box. It came in clutch, especially in the first few games we played. But, and this genuinely surprised me, after 1 or 2 plays, things just click. All that stuff that felt clunky becomes natural and intuitive. You're really only ever doing 1 of 3 things on your turn, and suddenly the game flows. We stopped needing the rulebook after those first couple of plays, though I kept that card index handy a little longer. So if you're looking at all these cards and all their exceptions and rules, and feeling a little bit intimidated, don't worry about it, I was too. Push through those first few games, it'll open up fast. Now the heart of it. Here's the thing about this game. Almost everything I love about this game comes with a little catch. So let me give you both sides of each. Quick word on the components, because they nail it. You play as a cute little turtle or a cute little rabbit. And the game even throws in skunks that aren't even in the base game. That's the kind of attention to detail that I like. But the resources are the real star. All 4 have a little different textures and feel. You got these smooth pebbles, resins with these sharp edges, logs that are so satisfying to roll around in your fingers. And the best part? These freaking berries are actually squishy. My one gripe though, you get so few of them. For example, you got 8 stones in total. That my first reaction was, did I get a defective copy? All these lovely bits do come with one downside though, the setup. It is not fast, it is a chore. There are 5 different categories of event cards, each shuffled separately, plus a pile of little bags you're opening up and sorting through every single time. What saved me though was his custom insert off of Etsy. Genuine game changer. Everything has a home, setup goes from a chore to a non-issue, and to a beauty really. And the game's small footprint finally lives up to the promise. I almost consider it mandatory. Just factor in the extra cost. The art is the whole reason I wanted this in the first place. Every card, every event, is a tiny little painting. And tiny is a problem. The cards, and especially the event cards, are so small you almost need a magnifying glass to actually appreciate the detail. They crammed all this gorgeous art into a footprint where you can barely enjoy it. For a game whose biggest selling point is how beautiful it is, that genuinely bums me out a little. When I'm playing, I don't remember seeing those cute little critters and houses. I remember seeing smudges of brown and green. Now let's talk about the system that's supposedly exclusive to Everdell Duo, the Sun and the Moon tokens. This is the one that everyone talks about. The rows of cards down the middle is a road, and the Sun and the Moon travel along that path. Every time you place a worker, the Sun slides down the road. Every time you play a card, the Moon slides. And the cards in the middle are only available to play if they're next to the Sun or the Moon. And look, it's a clever idea. The same system controls what you can do and how much time you've got left. When the tokens reach the end of the road, the season's over. There's a real bit of tension in tracking where they are and what you're about to do to hand your opponent. It's a genius system, really, but it can get a little bit clunky in practice. Now, this might just be a skill issue on my part, but it seems like at least once a game, we forget to move a token. Like, a lot can happen after you play a card or place a worker, so by the time you've wrapped up your turn, it's easy to forget to slide one of these across. Now, I went in this game expecting a chill, cozy village kind of game. And it is, but there's a genuine duel underneath. Because you're both pulling from the same shared road, you're in each other's business the whole time. I'd be eyeing a card, and my opponent will move a token and yank it right out of reach. It's cozy and mean. Or I'm eyeing a location to pick up some berries, but then my opponent snatches it up, forcing me to rethink my whole strategy. And the event tiles crank up the tension even more. Each one has a requirement, and claiming it eats your whole turn. So you're sitting there going, do I wait and get it later? But then my opponent is so close to also being able to claim it. So do I get it now? That's exactly the kind of tension that makes this game shine. So a fair warning, if you're coming into this game expecting a cozy, breezy, do-your-own-thing type of game, this game is a lot more aggressive than the art lets on. Go in expecting a fight. And here's the feeling I keep coming back to. Every single game, I start out thinking, how am I ever going to build anything meaningful here? And then my brain starts churning through everything I need to line up. And then the game ends, and somehow I built this whole city. I love that about this game. Going from, this is so hopeless, to, look what I made. In half an hour is so satisfying. Just know what you're signing up for. It's brain burning. For such a short game, you're thinking hard the entire time. If you wanted something breezy, this is more mental work than the art lets on. My wife and I pulling out this game after we put the kids to bed for a quick 30-minute session. And it does take us about 30 minutes, but they should have put a big asterisk on the box. That 30 minutes is for 2 experienced players who knows what they're doing. Your first few games, or any game with someone prone to AP, can easily stretch to an hour, even 90 minutes. Not a deal breaker, just don't trust the box on the time until you've got about a half a dozen plays under your belt. There's a ton of cards in this game, and that's a real strength. It's where all the variety comes from. No 2 games deal you the same hand. And it's so satisfying to build a unique engine off of these cards to chain them in a unique way. The catch only shows up when you have played this as much as I have. The game starts to feel a little bit samey in their shape. I fall into the same rhythm every single time. Greens in the first season, red and blue through the middle, purples at the last season. The cards change, but my turn started to rhyme. There's a whole dedicated booklet for the campaign. Scenarios, a backstory, plus extra components for the campaign and challenge modes. A skunk reporter named Lily Thorne shows up and starts sabotaging you. I really do respect how much they packed in here. But the campaign is extremely hard. And this might just be me, but the way that the skunk strips turns away from you makes the whole thing feel almost suffocating. I got through the entire campaign playing two-handed. I appreciate the little backstory they tucked into each chapter, but it's a forgettable filler. As much as I appreciate the effort, the campaign and the solo mode are not the reason to buy this game. It shines as a straight 2-player game. Everything else is a side dish. One nice surprise though, you can raid those campaign components for house rules in the normal 2-player game. Draft the good news cards out to each player at the start for more variety. Sprinkle a few skunks on the board to block spaces and crank up the difficulty. That's where those extras actually earn their keep for me. So, after everything I've thrown at it, how is this game still a 9 out of 10 for me? Arguably my favorite 2-player game. Honestly, because I keep wanting to play it. There are so many nights when my wife and I only have 30 minutes. We've bought a lot of short 2-player games for exactly those occasions, but most of them don't have the depth to scratch the itch for me. I like my heavy, thinky games, worker placement, engine building, the kind that makes me think several turns ahead. But those type of games usually eat a whole night though. This one scratches that itch in just 30 minutes. Now remember that big asterisk on the top? Here it is. This is not a 9 for everyone. If you've got a dedicated person to play with regularly, and you like those thinky games where you got several turns lined up in your head, this is a must buy. A 9 out of 10. But without a steady 2-player partner, it's a different game, and I knock it down a couple pegs. If you've never played any of the Everdell games and you're wondering where to begin, hopefully this helps. And if you're an Everdell veteran, please tell me in the comments, where should I go next? Thanks for watching, that's in the rulebook.